Well, greetings to you, Messiah Church. Pastor Tami here. I want to begin today with a simple but important question. How is it with your soul? If you're anything like me, your soul might be feeling a little weary right now, even heavy laden with a mix of sadness and fear and frustration, and yes, even anger. And these are not feelings that we need to push away or rush past because scripture reminds us again and again that God invites us to bring our whole selves, our fear, our grief, and our lament into God's presence. There are seasons like now when maybe the most faithful thing we can do is to cry out to God and to trust the promise that God will walk with us through every season of life. And even as we continue to care for others, I want to remind you gently and lovingly to care for your own well-being as well. So let me just offer a few simple reminders, faithful practices that can help nourish your soul this week. First of all, before your feet even hit the floor in the morning, before you get out of bed, offer a prayer of gratitude to God. Thank God for all the blessings in your life. Because even in these difficult times, there are many. And gratitude has this way of rewiring our brains that calms our fears, reduces our anxiety, and helps us remember that we are not alone, that God is with us always. Second, consider taking a break from social media, a digital detox, if you will, even for just a few hours a day, and especially in the hours before bedtime. Good sleep, it is essential to our overall health and well-being for our body, for our mind, and for our soul. Third, remember to move your body. Maybe take a walk around the block, or even down the hall or around your house. Turn on your favorite song and dance like nobody's looking. Eat nourishing food, drink plenty of water, and please connect with other people. If you're feeling alone or forgotten, visit a family member or friend, or pick up the phone and call someone who might be living alone, feeling forgotten, afraid, or overwhelmed themselves. These small acts of connection are the holy work that we do together. And if you're like me, when your soul feels weary, it often helps for me to do something that makes a difference in the life of someone else and for my own soul as well. So first, let me invite you to stop by church tomorrow, Saturday, September 17th, between the hours of 1 and 3, as we open up our sanctuary for a time of personal prayer and reflection. We're going to have candles for you to light. We're going to have some live music to soothe your soul, that while through prayer, we bring our whole selves to God and reject the evil forces of wickedness in this world and the evil powers, and turn toward God in prayer. And we will remember once more that the light of Christ cannot and will not be overcome by the darkness of this world. So come when you can. Stay as long or as short as you like. 1 to 3 tomorrow. And then let's put our faith in action together. Let's start by this simple prayer and ask, Lord, what is mine to do today? I want you to remember, you can't do everything, but you can do something, and that something matters. If you're looking for ideas what that might be, I invite you to visit our Faith in Action page on our website. It's a new page we've just posted this week. You'll find links below for easy access. Now, this Sunday is one of those special Sundays at Messiah Church, and even though we planned this Sunday months ago in honor of the legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., when hard times hit, it is more important than ever to be together with those that we love. So we're going to come together for one worship service this Sunday at 9:30. And my message is entitled, Courage to be Last, Living with the Mind of Christ. And we're going to explore how sometimes we have courage for our own sake, but often as followers of Christ, we put ourselves last and we call for courage for the sake of others' well-being. An important message for these times, so I hope you'll plan to join us. And then, before and after worship, we're going to have an opportunity to serve together. Now we're working with an organization called Harvest Pack, and we'll be packing, our goal is 16,500 of these oatmeal packages that will go to support local organizations like Totes for Hope right here in our own building, IOCP just across the street, Emma Norton Services, and our local area food shelves that have long been serving marginalized communities, but in these difficult and challenging times are also finding new ways to get food to those who need it the most. So you're welcome to come before worship. We have a shift at 8:30 to pack meals prior to worship beginning, or you're invited to stay after worship and pack meals together. And if you didn't sign up, no worries. There is room for everyone. It's going to feel so good just to be together in that sacred space of our sanctuary and to live out our faith in very tangible ways. So if you are in town and able, I invite you to come in person at 9:30. And if not, I look forward to seeing you as you join us online. All right, before we close, how about some good news? Are you ready for a little bit of good news? I think we could all benefit from a little good news right now. So let me just start with this. In 2025, our average weekly worship attendance grew from 539 per week in 2024 to 609 per week in 2025. We welcomed 27 new members, and we had 7 baptisms, 3 of which were youth baptisms. Your giving remains strong. You know, we've already received 75% of our fiscal year budget, even though we are just at the halfway point in our fiscal year. And we've received 75% of our $900,000 capital campaign goal. And the youth room is up next for a renovation this summer. You know, your generosity with the Christmas offering also allowed us to meet our goals of $12,000 for each of our 2 recipients, Totes for Hope and the Immigration Law and Justice Network. I will have the exact totals of that giving for you next week. So let me just say thank you. Truly and deeply thank you for your faithful and generous giving that allows us to continue the work of the church. Now you're going to receive a detailed financial report along with your 2025 annual giving statement, which will be mailed out to you by the end of January. So what does all of this mean? Well, it means that even in a world that is filled with heartbreak and anger and worry, there is still plenty of good news to share. The mission and the ministry of Messiah Church is strong and growing because of you, because of your commitment to continue to be the hands and feet of Jesus as we continue to seek ways to love God, love each other, and love this world. So take care of your soul this week, my friends. I can't wait to see you soon. God bless.